avenue, the garden. I get emotional just thinking about it all.
We go every
If the architect, Edgar Wood, walked through the doors right now, what would you say to him about how he's kept his vision alive?
I would probably walk him through the place and we'd have a look around and see what had changed over the years, because it's been an eventful 100 years for this house. It was requisitioned in the Second World War and bits were changed. It was owned by Kirklees Council for 20 years or maybe more, and things changed again. But the basic structure of the house, the woodwork, the paneling, the coving on the ceilings, and the bulk of it is as was. But I'd walk him round and I'd say, look, when you built this house, you clearly built it as a house to entertain people. You clearly built it as a house to be alive. It's not a mausoleum. It's not a museum piece. This house was designed, as I've said before, to welcome people through that door, to take them into the sitting rooms so that they can enjoy being sat. You've got the orangery stroke conservatory through there, from which you can walk down a nice gradual set of steps onto the terrace, then down onto the rose garden and onto the other lawns. And it really lends itself to getting people in, eating in the dining room, and just being in the house and enjoying the house. People who know it locally cherish it. People who are in the Civic Society or the Edgar Wood Appreciation Society, they do cherish it. But I do see it as an important piece of architecture, both nationally and internationally.
This fireplace is one of the few in the world. When you stand here, do you feel like you own it, or are you just a guardian of the century?
I think when you live in a house like this, you never really feel that you own it. You do feel like you are looking after it. So yeah, when I stand in front of this fire, I feel that there is a great piece of architectural history here, and we are kind of residing within it, but we're not really owning it now. No, you don't feel like you own it. You feel like you're looking after it for yourself and for future generations. It's the kind of thing that deserves to endure.
There was a moment when you considered letting this go. What was the exact second you looked around and realized, I can't sell this?
When we were moving, we actually moved temporarily, you might say. We had a buyer for this house and that fell through. And then over the next couple of years, we had a number of other buyers, but they fell through too. But what we found was that a lot of people wanted to look at this whole Grade 1 site, the whole land and everything, as a development opportunity. And me and my wife, Marina, we do believe that this house deserves to stay stood. Not only that, but we believe that it deserves to be open so that it can be used by people for events like weddings, for example, of which we've done a few, like dinners, which we've done a few of, like Christmas, where we had Father Christmas here and we invited children in for Father Christmas, like Mother's Day, where we can let people in and they can enjoy the house and they can enjoy the gardens. So there was a time it kind of evolved. I think that what actually happened was that we hadn't been living here for 2 or 3 years, and I started coming back to get the place prepared for doing weddings and other events. And when I came back, I thought, why did we ever leave? Because it's such a nice place to be. I've said this to a few people, and I will say this. There's a film called Pretty Woman. Okay, and loads of people have seen Pretty Woman. It's a very famous film. And at the end of the film, the hotel manager is packing up a piece of jewellery, and he says to the main guy, Richard Gere, I think it is. He says, it's very difficult to give up such a beautiful thing, isn't it? And he wasn't really referring to the jewellery. He was referring to the girl that he'd been spending the last week with. And when I came back here, it reminded me of that scene in that film. This house, when you come back, you think it really is beautiful. And it's such a difficult thing to sort of just part with when it's such a beautiful thing. And so coming back and starting to redo the rose garden and things like that made me think, oh yeah, this is a really nice house. And it reminded me of that scene in that film. And I thought, what are we doing? This is a wonderful place to be, a wonderful place to live. It's a wonderful place to bring all the family back to, because they come back for family events. And it's a wonderful place to kind of, open up to more people, which is certainly something that we are interested in doing. It's very hard to grasp how unique and how welcoming this house is. It's very hard to imagine the quality of the place, like the chimneys and the oak boards and everything else. It's very hard to get an idea of that without actually coming along and having a look for yourself. We do open days where we tour around looking at how we provide for weddings and dinners and other celebrations. We do historic tours through historic houses. You can book those either with them or directly with us. But I would urge you, if you're interested in having a look, do book. Come along, we'll show you around. I'm sure you won't regret it.